Welcome to the Haunted Heart Society Podcastle. I'm Emily S.W.
Sam.
And we are coming at you with episode 6.
I hope.
Assuming they come out in order.
Well, they will, because I will make them
come
out in order. I just am hoping I didn't miscount somewhere, but I think 6 is correct.
Yeah, I also think 6 is correct.
Last time we gave you the picture of Dorian Gray.
Hello.
Now for a word from our sponsor.
What do you have to say about Haunted Heart Society Podcastle? Nothing? Well, now that you're not interrupting. No. That's mine. That's my tea.
You know, it's just like a cat to come in here screaming, and then when you want her to talk, she won't. It's just like she'll be laying somewhere looking real cute, and I'll be like, oh, I don't have my phone, and I want to take a picture, and in the time it takes me to get my phone and come back, she's moved.
Mm-hmm. Contrary.
Anyways.
In this episode, we are revisiting Poe-etry.
Dun, dun, dun.
Last time went so well, we had fun.
I had fun recording it. I had fun editing it. And that is, I think, the clincher. Like, if we record, and I go, I don't know how I felt about that recording. Sometimes when I'm in editing, I think, oh, actually, this turned out okay. Or sometimes I record and I think, wow, this turned out pretty good, and then I go to edit it, and I'm like, wow, this is a disaster, train wreck. But with Poe, I enjoyed both parts of the process. And that's how I think, you've got a winner.
Yes, so we are back. We have, rather than randomly flipping to things...
Because that went so well last time.
Yeah. We chose a theme. And this theme is Sonnets. We are reading 4 sonnets by Mr. Edgar Allan Poe. Do you want to read them or shall I?
I shall read.
Okay. I'll hand you the tome.
This is also on theme with our theme of mad science.
Which, also Shakespeare.
Is it Shakespeare? I mean...
Well, I associate...
Let's say Shakespeare's kind of known for sonnets.
Yeah, I don't think he invented them. I do associate sonnets with Shakespeare.
At this point, what didn't Shakespeare invent?
That's true. And even if he didn't invent it, he's probably credited. Yeah. History joke!
Shakespeare came up in our dream poems. Mm-hmm. The dream within a dream. All that is, or seems, or is, and appears to be. Yes,
you've confuddled me. I was going to say the quote, and now my brain is in knots. All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. There it is.
Yeah.
You were speaking, and my brain was going, whoa.
Because it was like the right words, but they were out of order and wrong.
I had... They were the right words, but wrong.
It's kind of like how when I was on the phone with the lady from the insurance company, and she read back to me a zip code with the correct numbers in it, but they weren't in the correct order, and I didn't realize it until she was trying to send me to a mechanic in the Bronx.
Wait a minute.
Which is not correct.
Yeah.
I do not live in New York City.
No offense to New York City, but it's expensive there.
Back on track.
Focus.
This is Sonnet to Science. There is a little footnote with this one.
Okay, I love a good footnote. Hit me.
I will read the footnote. Private reasons, some of which have reference to the sin of plagiarism, and others to the date of Tennyson's first poems, have induced me, after some hesitation, to republish these, the crude compositions of my earliest boyhood. They are printed verbatim, without alteration from the original edition, the date of which is too remote to be judiciously acknowledged.
Okay.
There's a little bit of resentment in that.
Yes.
So, I wrote these when I was a kid, and I maybe copied Tennyson, but I guess I'll publish it.
Well, I guess.
Alright, to Science. Science, true daughter of old time thou art, who alterest all things with thy peering eyes. Why preyest thou thus upon the poet's heart, vulture, whose wings are dull realities? How should he love thee, or how deem thee wise, who wouldst not leave him in his wandering, to seek for treasure in the jeweled skies, albeit he soared with an undaunted wing? Hast thou not dragged Diana from her car, and driven the Hamadryad from the wood, to seek a shelter in some happier star? Hast thou not torn the Naiad from her flood, the elfin from the green grass, and from me, the summer dream beneath the tamarind tree?
Okay, so we got some Greek mythology here.
What is an impressively difficult word to say.
Yeah. I know, I feel like he definitely wrote that. He wasn't reading it aloud.
No, that was kind of hard.
Yeah.
You know, I got to a point where I was just like, this is like when you're playing an instrument, and even if you, like, miss some of the notes, you're just like, I gotta keep going. Otherwise, it's gonna throw everything off.
It wasn't too bad. I knew what you were saying. Who
wouldst not? Yeah, there was a lot of words next to each other that shouldn't be spoken next to each other.
No. But, I mean, I had a good time.
Did I get I wasn't feeling science.
No, I feel like what he was trying to say was science took, like, the mythology, the mystery out of life, because he's saying, you know, science removed Diana from her car, which I'm assuming is a reference to, like, a chariot.
Yeah.
And the
naiads... car is just short for carriage.
Yes.
Right.
And the naiad, is he mentioned that?
Naiad is like a river nymph.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
So it sounds like he's just saying, hey, science, you're not romantic at all. You took all the mystery out of life.
All the fun.
Mm-hmm. Relatable.
The vulture, whose wings are dull real.
I like that line. That was I think that was the best part.
It preys upon the poet's heart. This wasn't to science, this was anti-science.
Yeah. To science. F*** you. It was a hate letter.
Yeah. I don't know anything about Alfred Lord Tennyson's work, personally.
I'm not super familiar myself.
So I don't know where the comparisons are, necessarily.
No, I don't either. I'm not. Tennyson is not he's not in my wheelhouse.
We will have to omit that from
our
analysis here. And when he says earliest boyhood, I wonder how old he means.
Yeah, because earliest boyhood to me means toddler. Like,
yeah. He certainly was not writing this as a toddler.
No, I'm assuming he means teenager.
I would say that, because I don't think, like, a 6-year-old is writing like this either.
No, like, it seems like something maybe it's like he was learning about Tennyson or reading Tennyson and Shakespearean sonnets, and he's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna write.
You know, this is...
I hate my science homework.
Teenage angst.
Mm-hmm. It really is. He's like, I'm an English kid hanging out in my English teacher's room. I don't want to go to science class. I hate my science teacher. I hate science. I'm gonna write a poem.
Science is so uninteresting. Dull.
Yeah, which, Poe's words, not ours.
Takes all the fun out of life.
I mean, I do think life was probably a little bit cooler when you could go into the forest and think you'd see fairies or nymphs.
You mean you don't still think that?
I mean, I do, but I just mean generally for other people.
Yeah, but that was also the, same time period where, governments were calling people witches.
That's true. Pros and cons. But what is magic if not unexplained science?
So that was Poe's hate letter to science.
Yep.
Should we move on?
Good start.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Zante?
I was just saying, you think this is pronounced Zante?
Zante? Is it used in a rhyme somewhere?
It's but this is not English. Is that Italian?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's...
assuming it's Italian, so I'm going to pronounce it. I don't speak Italian, so I will preface with that warning. So if I mispronounce the not English words, we're just going to move on. Yeah. So far, even pronouncing the English words has been...
difficult.
A little bit of a struggle, so...
Poe is challenging us today.
Yeah, okay. Sonnet number 2. To Zante. Fair isle, that from the fairest of all flowers, thy gentlest of all gentle names dost take. How many memories of what radiant hours, at sight of thee, and thine at once awake. How many scenes of what departed bliss, how many thoughts of what entombed hopes, how many visions of a maiden that is no more upon thy verdant slopes. No more, alas, that magical sad sound, transforming all, thy charms shall please no more, thy memory no more, accursed ground. Henceforth I hold thy flower-enamelled shore, O hyacinthine isle, O purple Zante, Isola d'oro, fior di Levante.
So clearly he's talking about a place.
Well, Isola d'oro, I'm assuming, means Golden Isle. Is this a real place? Can we look this up?
Yes, let us consult the search engine. What is it?
Zante.
Z-A-N-T-E. It's a Greek island in the Ionian Sea, also known as Zakynthos. Greek island in the Ionian Sea is the third largest of the Ionian Islands.
Do we have a lot of hyacinths that grow there? Say, hyacinthine was not a word I was expecting to have to say today.
The island is said to be named after Zakynthos, son of the legendary Arcadian chief Dardanus. Tourist destination. The island's nickname is the Flower of the Levant, bestowed upon it by the Venetians. Mentioned in the Iliad and the Odyssey. Before being renamed to Zakynthos, the island was said to have been called Hyre, conquered, blah blah blah.
Do we know if Poe ever traveled abroad?
We don't.
Because I don't feel like it. I feel like he wrote this because he heard about this through mythology.
Yeah, it seems like it played a pretty big role, or history, because it looks like it was tied up with, Athens made an alliance with the people on this island, and the island provided them with tar to make ships and stuff, and then it was seized by a Macedonian. Yeah, it looks like this place changed ownership a fair amount. Venetian period, was captured by the Ottoman Empire in 1478, but conquered by the Republic of Venice in 1482.
So is that where the Italians coming in?
Yeah, it must be.
I'm assuming this is
Then
Italian.
it then passed under French rule, seized by the British in 1809, and then it formed the United States of the Ionian Islands until the union of the Ionian Islands with Greece. Flora and fauna. Olive oil, currants, grapes, and citrus fruit. Prime nesting area for loggerhead sea turtles. Oh, they have a shipwreck bay.
So, Google also thinks Italian, but here I'm thinking that Poe doesn't speak Italian either, that's why this isn't quite coming up.
Yeah, I don't think Poe traveled.
Okay, so apparently Levant is just this whole area around the eastern part of the Mediterranean.
Okay, so it's a general...
Yeah. So he's saying this island is the pride of this area of the sea. The Golden Island.
Okay, from what I'm seeing, Poe never left the country. He never left America.
So, I didn't think so.
No, so this must have been from reading about history or mythology or both. Maybe he was reading the Iliad and the Odyssey and...
Do you think that the many maidens, or visions of a maiden that is no more, could be referring to Helen?
Maybe.
If they were traveling through here on their way to Troy, the Greeks, thoughts of what entombed hopes, visions of a maiden that is no more.
You know what? I think you might be onto something.
Saying all of these people who passed through here with a goal that is not applicable today.
Okay, I'm trying to see if I can find anything about it specifically.
This specific poem?
Boy, apparently the Sonnets of Science is popular.
Is it? Well, how could it not be? It's just it's a sick burn.
Yeah. Let's see.
Purple has got to refer to the hyacinths and flowers.
Yeah, I'm assuming. Originally published in 1837. No other information. Alright.
Cool. is one of his least popular, then, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess people don't like to talk about this. Like, it's on a lot of, those, like, poetry websites you can read online. But...
no one has a real analysis of it. But I guess we can make up the analysis, then. Our analysis.
Yeah, the only analysis I'm seeing... oh, here we go. Is the genius.com, where it's, like, people... can annotate
with the lyrics, song
lyrics, but also poems apparently. And a lot of this is kind of redundant. Like there's one on entombed. Entombed means to literally put a body in a tomb. Thanks.
Wow.
Verdant, just a definition. But this says Poe refers to purple hyacinth flowers. This flower was said to be named after a Greek boy named Hyacinthus. This boy was said to be loved by two Greek gods, Apollo and Zephyr. One day when Apollo was teaching the boy how to throw a discus, Zephyr got jealous and blew the discus backwards toward Hyacinthus, subsequently killing him with a blow to the head. Apollo named the flower that grew from Hyacinthus' blood after the boy. These flowers are said to represent consistency. And then, Island of Gold. This is the flower of the East, is what this says, the Fior de Levante, it translates to. But this is just from genius.com, so take that with a grain of salt. This is literally all the analysis I can find of this poem online. I mean,
that doesn't really tell us anything about the island.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
Like, hyacinths grow in a lot of places.
Yes. Maybe he's making an allusion to the mythology behind the name, but that doesn't really seem in line with the island.
Or maybe because he never actually went there, he's got no idea what he's saying.
It's true. Maybe he just saw a picture of that island and there were hyacinths, and he was like, hey.
I still think that, because it was referenced in the Iliad and the Odyssey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our maiden could still be, if we're referencing Greek myth.
Yeah.
That's also part of Greek myth. Especially many scenes of departed bliss. Like, people were happy here, but not now.
Not now. The bliss has departed.
Entombed hopes. Visions of a maiden that is no more.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but entomb means to put in a tomb.
Oh, I didn't know that. Accursed ground. Yeah, I think he's just really dramatizing place.
Yeah, he must have seen a picture of this in a textbook or something and just gone off on a little tangent.
It inspired his imagination.
It did. Good for him.
Yeah. Should we go on the next one?
Next one.
Oh.
What do you mean, oh?
Oh. This is called Sonnet. Silence.
Okay. But tish.
There are some qualities, some incorporate things, that have a double life, which thus is made, a type of that twin entity which springs from matter and light, evinced in solid and shade. There is a twofold silence, sea and shore, body and soul. One dwells in lonely places, newly with grass o'ergrown, some solemn graces. Some human memories and tearful lore render him terrorless, his name's no more. He is the corporate silence, dread him not. No power hath he of evil in himself. But should some urgent fate, untimely lot, bring thee to meet his shadow, nameless elf, that haunteth the lone regions where hath trod no foot of man, commend thyself to God.
Whoa. What an ending. Can I see the book, please?
That one was
a lot.
The problem. I see the word corporate and I think corporation.
Yeah.
He's saying bodily and not bodily, corporate and corporate.
Corporeal. Yeah. Right.
So there's the physical thing and the shadow thing.
Yes.
And if you meet the shadow thing, you're dead.
Yeah, I also... Is he talking about death here? Oh, maybe. It's also interesting to me, no more keeps coming up.
Yeah, I also noticed that because he repeated it quite a bit in the Zante poem.
Yes, he did. And it's also funny because the Raven, being his most famous work, arguably. Or its most famous poem, at least.
Nevermore.
Yes.
Type of twin entity. So this is about opposites.
Mm-hmm.
Sea and shore. Body and soul. They're opposite things, but they're also part of a whole.
Yeah, opposite, I wouldn't necessarily say opposite, but like opposing.
Yeah. Matter and light. Solid and shade are the opposing things for that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Light and shade, matter and solid. Solid is the type.
Whatever.
Twin entities. So yeah, two opposing like things that make
They're linked.
the whole. No more is corporate silence. No more, so no more is in quotes.
Yes.
Which could suggest it's being spoken.
Yeah.
Which means it's not actually silent. But also if you're speaking or if you're perceiving of things not being continuing, you are still alive.
That is a good point.
If you are no longer perceiving that there is no more,
then you're dead.
you are dead.
Yeah.
And that is nameless, whose lone regions hath trod no foot of man.
Yeah. That's kind of where I was getting the idea that it was death.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they can hear the train?
Can you hear the train? I guess I'll find out when I'm editing
Yeah.
it. You know, it adds a bit of flavor to our recording here.
It's true. Comment down below if you were here for the train. Call to action.
Human memory, newly with grass overgrown.
What if it's time?
Oh, you know what? What if it's a grave?
Oh.
Newly with grass overgrown, solemn graces, human memories, and herefore lore render him terrorless. So people at a grave are alive.
That's true. Death adjacent.
But should some urgent fate or an untimely lot bring thee to meet his shadow? So it's like it's life and death.
Yeah.
Like we've said life and death in a bunch of different ways. I mean, commend thyself to God is literally just saying like you're moving on.
Yeah.
So
You better pray to God because
this is it.
Yeah, that's it.
The silent no more. Yeah. We
cracked the code.
We just said life and death in about 3 different ways.
Yeah. We figured it out. This is real-time poetry analysis.
You can see the wheels. Oh, you can't see the wheels turning.
You can hear the wheels.
The wheels turning.
Chugga.
You can hear the train.
The train of thought.
What if it wasn't a real train and it was just the manifestation
of us coming to the point of the poem?
Coming to the station.
That would be pretty gothic.
Yeah. It was a real train.
There
is a train station not that far from here.
I mean, we can't see it though. Who knows? Maybe it's a ghost train.
Yeah, when the wind is just right, you can hear the train. It's perfect. You ready for the next one?
I'm ready. Last one, right?
Mm-hmm. I have no more end kids stuck in the book.
Okay, hopefully it's a good one. End it on a banger.
Here. You ready?
Yep.
This is to my mother.
Well, this is either going to go really good or really bad.
Because I feel that, in the heavens above, the angels whispering to one another, can find among their burning terms of love none so devotional as that of mother. Therefore, by that dear name I long have called you. You are more than mother unto me, and fill my heart of hearts where death installed you, in setting my Virginia's spirit free. My mother, my own mother, died early, was but the mother of myself, but you, our mother to the one I love so dearly, and thus are dearer than the mother I knew, by that infinity with which my wife was dearer to my soul than its soul life.
He's talking about his cousin wife.
He sure is.
Oh.
Her name was Virginia, wasn't it?
Yeah, at first I was like, oh, Virginia Soul, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, no, this is a sonnet to
his aunt. Also his mother-in-law. That's unfortunate. It started off really sweet. Then he's like, oh yeah, my real mom? Not important. Which, you know, I mean, I guess if you didn't really know her, but like also, why'd you marry your cousin, dude? That one also, I think he kind of lost the rhythm of the sonnet a little bit near the end.
That could also just be a narration flaw. If you want to take a look and judge my dictation.
This line, and thus are dearer than the mother I knew, that one is the one that really puts the wrench in the gears for me. I don't think I could be wrong about this, disclaimer, but I think the meter's off on that line. And also was dearer to my soul than its soul life. I mean, that's just kind of an awkward phrase, but he did lose the meter a bit at the end, I think.
Well, he was just so emotional thinking about his aunt, mother-in-law.
Yeah, you know what? Not my favorite. I think my favorite was... I'll say the first one. The one about the Greek island was cool, too. The science.
Oh, science.
To science.
The hate letter
the
to
hate
science.
letter to science. I related to that. And it had that line about the vulture's wings. I like that.
Yeah. Silence was pretty cool.
Silence was cool.
Mm-hmm.
It was about death.
Yeah, To My Mother was very straightforward and then unfortunate.
It was very unfortunately about his cousin wife and his aunt mother-in-law.
Yeah, she also died young, didn't she?
She did. Well, he also married her at 13. When she was 13.
Yeah.
If you don't know, internet. Don't marry your cousin, PSA.
Yeah, no, this one, it's just, it's weird.
It's weird, I don't like it.
It's just like, you're more than mother to me because you're Virginia's mother.
Yeah.
And she's more important to me than I am.
Yeah, just really unhealthy.
It's weird.
It's weird, it's unhealthy, it's obsessive.
It's like, you're the mother of my love.
Too close, too close.
People are too complicated.
That's true. Hard to boil them down.
But this sonnet we boiled down.
Yeah. Dislike.
Well, we did not end on a good note.
No,
here.
we didn't end on a good note. We've already come up with a couple different themes for more Poe readings. But yeah, those were the Poe sonnets. Not as popular as The Raven.
Is anything as popular as
No.
The Raven?
No, I don't think so. It's like that and like Shakespearean sonnets.
Well, I couldn't name a Shakespeare.
I couldn't either.
Sonnet. I mean, I know they exist.
Quoth the Raven, nevermore.
But, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we'll read that one someday. We'll just have an episode of Greatest Hits. Annabelle Lee. The Raven.
You know, that's not a bad idea, actually.
Yeah.
Those are also fairly long poems.
They are. I would like to request to read The Raven.
You would like to read The Raven?
Mm-hmm. Not right now.
Okay.
But I mean, when we do it, I would like to read it.
I'll have to read all his poems about specific people, or to specific people. Places.
Mm-hmm.
Ghosts and haunted places. Actually, The Raven's not. It's not the longest.
No, it is very wordy, but it's not the longest.
I just stopped at this little couplet here. Deep in earth, my love is lying, and I must weep alone. We'll have to read that along with probably like Annabelle Lee.
Yeah. Okay, well, that was another episode
We're gonna have to cleanse after the aunt mother-in-law sonnet.
Yes, by watching Naruto.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyways, see you next time. Talk to you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.